Now, at 11, Mother Nature not done with winter yet.
Look at those power lines.
A winter storm packing a punch with snow, high wind, and lots of ice.
You can't even get out of our neighborhood right now. It's pretty bad.
Thousands left without power.
It was just like firecrackers going off constantly, and then all the transformers that were blowing up. It was like fireworks.
Plus damage to businesses already struggling under the weight of the pandemic. But it's not all wintry woes. Probably the most Portland way to celebrate a snow day.
It's like one of the most charming parts about the city, right? That we can't handle snow, so let's just go into it.
Messy streets make way for an impromptu ski race. All right, so lots to cover with the storm tonight. Thanks so much for staying up with us. I'm Brittany Folkers.
And I'm Morgan Romero. Several counties in our area are under a state of emergency tonight as people try to clean up and dig out from the storm. And hey, it's not over yet. From downed power lines to snow-covered streets, it's pretty treacherous out on those roads. This is a live look at I-84 at Marine Drive. Stalled trucks and cars leading to backups. Traffic has been at a standstill for hours. If you don't have to be out driving in this, stay home.
All right, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino, who's been tracking this storm for us. Matt, another blast of winter weather moving through tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Brittany. It's kind of a minor one tonight, but a stronger one coming in tomorrow night. But the good news about that is that's going to be the one that brings an end to the sub-freezing temperatures here in the Portland area. Let me show you what's going on right now. We'll zoom in. That's the second one. Right now we just have this minor disturbance kind of rolling on in, but it has brought us some snow and some freezing rain and sleet to downtown and the rest of the viewing area as well. So yes, we are getting a little bit tonight. I don't think it's going to make things too much worse. Super interesting though what's happening with the temperatures. It's 29 now in Portland. East winds at 11. Let me show you some other temperatures around the valley though, because it's 29 in Sherwood and all in the upper 20s here in Portland. But you go a little bit south and as close to us as McMinnville, they just jumped up into the 40s. So 42 there. The wind hasn't really changed, so it's interesting that they did that. Salem is also above freezing. Corvallis has been above freezing pretty much all day long. So that's where the warming is, and it's not that far away. And it's going to take some time for that to erode this cold air that's over the Portland area right now. But eventually, that will be happening as we go into tomorrow. Another way of looking at this is the change in our temperatures over the last 24 hours. And I mean, it's significantly warmer. That 11 degrees warmer at McMinnville really stands out because they just jumped up to 42 like they did. But even in Portland, we're 4 or 5 degrees warmer than we were last night. So we're going in the right direction. It's still below freezing. We're still dealing with freezing rain, but that will be changing as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. So here's Doppler radar. You can see the rain and the snow that's moving through, the freezing rain and the snow that's moving through. Incredible snowfall in the Cascades, by the way. We'll dig into that. No pun intended, but I'll show you the totals there coming up a little bit later on. You can see the leading edge of that next weather system offshore, and that will bring more significant precipitation later tomorrow and tomorrow night. Here's how it looks for the rest of the weekend. Light snow and freezing rain tonight, and then freezing rain turns to all rain around midday tomorrow, except for areas east of I-205. Close to the gorge like that, you're going to stay in the ice well into tomorrow night. The gorge, snow, freezing rain tonight, and then all freezing rain is going to Sunday night and even Monday in the gorge. And then Portland to Salem, freezing rain tonight, but we are seeing that warming. That rain will advance from south to north as we go through the day. So a lot more to break down a little later. Back to you.
All right, Matt, thank you.
I'm pretty grateful. Hopefully they have enough gas for us.
Long lines for fuel as people look for ways to heat their homes. The ice storm knocked out power for more than 200,000 people in our area. Catherine Cook spent the day in Woodburn to see how people are dealing with the aftermath.
Thousands of people are still without power in the Mid-Willamette Valley. The ice has really crippled communities, and even as it begins to thaw, it'll be a long time before things return to normal. The day after a massive ice storm, people in the Mid-Willamette Valley found themselves isolated, cut off from heat, power, internet, and in some cases, the main roads.
And there's power lines down all the way across the road this way, and all the way across the road this way.
Jason LaPointe lives in Woodburn. He took this video while trying to leave his neighborhood.
There is absolutely no way for me to leave my house.
Ice coated every part of Woodburn, bending trees to its will and snapping utility poles. As destructive as it was beautiful.
The tree has got to be well over 100 years old.
Now, Don Shade's giant maple tree is missing a limb. It took out his gutter and fence before falling across the road.
I took my axe and went out and chopped it back till I got it off the road.
He would have used a chainsaw, but his are electric.
But we get our electricity back. I'm in business.
Same story for more than 200,000 people who woke up without power.
It's been pretty hectic. No power. Need to get gas to get our generator going.
But no one expected this.
This is the only place we heard of to get gas anywhere within 20 miles, so.
The line to the Shell station in Aurora stretched around the block. Everyone here just trying to keep their families warm.
I'm just trying to fill up a couple gas tanks for my parents.
My bed's about this high, full of blankets. Oh yeah, it's freezing. Any luck?
No, not a chance.
As utility crews work non-stop to repair power lines, it's clear restoring access to all the things the storm took is going to take time.
So there you have it. This is going to be a lot
in Woodburn
of
Catherine Cook,
work.
KGW News.
Oh, it's brutal. Some TriMet bus lines are back open tonight. In a rare move today, TriMet shut down all mass transit, both trains and buses. It left people either stranded or taking to the streets their own way. We caught up with Charles Sykes at a TriMet stop this morning. He was trying to go to work. He says he's lived in Portland for 30 years, and he doesn't remember TriMet ever having to shut down completely, even during blizzard-like storms.
I've never seen them shut the Max and the bus down at the same time. This is the first time I've seen a total shutdown.
TriMet admits it was an unusual decision, but it was one it had to make to keep both riders and drivers safe with the dangerous conditions today.
Portland has sent out dozens of snow plows and salt trucks to help deal with the snow and ice. If you're wondering when they'll make their way to your neighborhood, PBOT has actually created a map that shows where each one is in real time. We have a story with that map as well as traffic updates throughout the region. You can find it at kgw.com.
Yeah, really helpful tool, Brittany. We've seen temperatures below freezing the last 4 nights, and tonight will be just as cold. Joe Rainieri shows us how organizations are making sure those most vulnerable in our community have a place to find a warm bed and meal.
The need continues to grow, especially right now, as we see another night with temperatures dropping well below freezing. I spoke with one volunteer at the Blanchet House who told me they passed out more than 400 lunches alone just today.
There was a line outside the Blanchet House on Saturday as people waited for a warm meal and warm clothes to help them survive the bone-chilling weather we're seeing.
We've done our normal schedule today. We did breakfast from 6:30 to 7:30, then our normal lunch, and we're open to do dinner from 5 to 6. We had a pretty busy lunch. We did 465 lunches today.
John Siebert is the volunteer manager at the Blanchet House. He says every day he sees someone new.
We're seeing a lot of guests that are coming for our meal services every day. 6 days a week, 3 meals a day, and there's not a day that goes by where we're not seeing a lot of new faces.
There are so many people who are in need right now that for the 3rd night in a row, Multnomah County has had 3 severe weather shelters open. One along North Lombard, a parking garage in the Oregon Convention Center, and an area inside the convention center. Raven Drake is with Street Roots.
And with so many things closed, especially this morning, we found entire groups of people coming to our door whose tents had collapsed because of the ice and they were soaking wet.
He knows exactly what it's like to be in need.
Well, I spent the whole first part of last year living on the streets when I came to work originally with Street Roots.
And with other places like Union Gospel Mission offering warming shelters.
We definitely are always concerned when the weather gets this cold. It can be life-threatening for people that are sleeping outside.
Everyone hopes those in need can find a safe place to get out of the cold.
We are just trying to do whatever we can to make it better for them.
And local nonprofits I spoke to earlier this evening tell me they expect to see the number to continue to grow, especially over the next couple of nights as the cold weather sticks around. Joe Rainieri, KGW News.